So, Bob, you still running that sweepstake on who's going to get the MD's job?
Yeah, who do you think is going to be the capo di tutti capi?
Eh?
It's a mafia phrase.
Oh, I am a lawyer.
I'd forgotten all about the sweepstake. I refunded all the money when John Wood turned up.
Well, John's halfway through his reign. Only another 10 weeks, and he's got to decide who's going to fill his shoes and become our new boss.
Well, I still put my money on Mike.
Well, he's got to be the favourite.
Not as I understand it. Apparently his appraisal with the boss took 4 hours.
Actually, now you mention it, when he came out, he looked like my mum's old cat after he was done by the vet.
Yeah. First, he had to apologise to Brenda for threatening to fire her. Then he had to grovel to Rebecca before she'd take the account back.
Oh, I still feel a bit guilty about dropping him in it.
Guilty? You deserve a medal.
So, if Mike Starr's falling, who would you put your money on?
Well, now that Charles has been fired, there are only 2 contenders, Lee and Jenny.
Lee's too inexperienced.
Yeah, he's still got a lot to learn about production.
Now, don't underestimate Lee. He's a clever lad.
Yeah, but he's no great communicator.
But then Jenny's not a natural leader.
Now, I'll give you long odds on her getting the job.
Maybe Mike will get it by default.
Unless, of course, they bring in someone completely new.
Yeah, you're right. There's definitely time to start a new book.
New book, Bob? What new book's that?
Nige is going to lend me his new book. Aren't you, Nige?
Am I?
Yeah. I'm a keen student in the latest management techniques.
Oh, right. Good.
What's up? You look bushed.
Oh, I've been working day and night on the report on our customer survey.
That bad, is it?
Oh, doesn't make for happy reading. I didn't realise we'd hacked off quite so many of our customers.
Still, I suppose it is better to know the unvarnished truth.
Do you think that'll make an impression on the rest of management?
Only if you hit them with it.
Mike, it's official. I've just heard from the development guys. We can launch AS400 in 8 weeks.
Oh, no can do. That's the week I've booked off for skiing.
You what?
I'm kidding. 8 weeks. Well, that'll put the frighteners on the competition.
You bet. I knew the guys would deliver on time.
Now HTP have withdrawn that lawsuit, we've got a clear road ahead of us.
Things are looking up. The only thing I can't understand is why HTP picked on us in the first place. I mean, it's not as if we're their big competition or anything, at least not until we've launched AS400. How did they know we were targeting their niche?
Perhaps their product isn't as strong as they'd like to make it out to be.
Well, it's not. I spent 3 months taking it apart.
So Charles was right about you nicking some of their software?
No, I didn't do it to copy it. Just professional curiosity. And when I found out what a mess it was in, I took a completely different route.
Why didn't you tell me about this before?
You didn't ask.
Now, just let me get this straight. You and Charles both suspected that we were developing a killer application, I mean one that would blow the HTP product out of the water, and you didn't bother to tell me about it.
I did email you all the technical reports on the beta trials.
I have never, ever read anything technical you've sent me over email. This is crucial market information. Didn't it occur to you to tell me in person?
Do you really think AS400 could be a market beater?
How the hell would I know? You've never told me anything about it. Well, HTP obviously thinks so. I mean, enough to try and kill it.
So what do we do now?
We give it the biggest launch we've ever done.
What kind of launch?
The kind of launch that makes your eyes sweat. I'll get our marketing agency onto it straight away.
Should be fun. I've always wanted to know what that agency did apart from lunch.
Ha ha.
There you go. Hot off the press. I want you to have this for the management meeting.
No, thank you, Jenny. I've already got a telephone directory.
Oh, very droll. I'll have you know I've been working on this customer survey report solidly all week.
Why don't you just email me the summary?
This is the summary.
Jenny, while you've been writing this novel, you've neglected something.
What's that?
This week's assignment from John.
Lesson 11, communicating clearly.
Come on, let's do that meeting.
And I have to concede that it's nearly marked. It's in a dangerous position. But if you look at it, 50% of the drivers are stopping. and 50% of drivers are not stopping. And we can't have that.
The problem is, of course, that the bus stop has been sited there. It's been sited in the wrong place.
Yeah, we were not consulted.
Well, that's right. And because it's been sited there, bus drivers will stop there because, you know, that's what we do for a living. We drive a bus, we stop at bus stops. But unfortunately, it's been sited in a place that is dangerous for our drivers to stop at.
Today, Clyde Alder has a tricky idea to sell to union convener Steve Linger. A bus stop has been sited in an awkward place. Clyde's job is to persuade Steve to keep his drivers stopping there until the bus stop can be moved.
We're on site now, Clyde. As you can see, this is the problem now at the bus stop. The buses come off the stand or along the road here and pull into this stop here. And the driver has to move from here across these 3 lanes of traffic to continue on its way. Now, we're saying that's the risk that we have getting across them 3 lanes of traffic. And you understand that.
I understand that, yes. We don't differ. The only difference is really that I'm asking you for those few that are not stopping for your support, because people are waiting here. 9 times out of 10, there's no disagreement between the union and the management. The only disagreement is pace, how quickly you can reverse that decision. And I think if you can explain to the union the methods adopted to reverse the decision, then I think you're home and dry. I don't want to take a firm line on it.
This is a designated bus stop, and as a designated bus stop, it's been designated in the wrong place, and it needs changing.
I don't dispute that. As a matter of fact, Steve, this is not the worst sighted bus stop in London, but we have noticed it, and we're working on it. I think if those around you respect you as a person, and then we respect the fact that you've done your homework and you know what you're talking about, that's the basis, that's the foundation.
Once his homework is done, Clyde tries to sell his ideas in terms his drivers will appreciate. First, an appeal to their sense of family duty.
50% of the drivers are not stopping. 50% are stopping. And when I discuss it with those that are stopping, the reason for stopping is that they are old people, and they're women with children, and they would be very embarrassed to leave those at the bus stop. So at the end of the day...
Then he makes an appeal to their sense of professionalism and pride.
And let's look at it from our point of view in East London. We are the people that are getting all the stick on this one. The public think that we have something to do with citing the bus stop there. Our drivers are getting the stick about it. So the first thing we should do is to protect our own, really. Yeah. Still there? Sure, yeah, we're still stopping there. You're still stopping there? Are you stopping?
He tends to be a bit of a hands-on sort of guy, you know. At times it seems to be... I'm not completely happy with that, but it tries to, if you like, cut out at times the trade union way it operates. But generally, he's an hands-on, and we can deal with one another. It's quite an open relationship.
So you think the others should stop, really, until we get it moved? Because people are standing there.
People are standing there, right. And I suppose as an open bus stop, we should stop.
Yeah. Until we get it moved, really, yeah. Sorry to disturb you.
That's all right. When is it going to be moved, though?
As soon as possible. Watch the space.
Yeah, I was told that about 2 weeks ago.
No.
A few weeks later, the issue is resolved. The bus stop moved to a safer place. In general, though, the drivers will only go along with an idea if they believe management has their long-term interests at heart.
When I started as a manager, we had a union rep here by the name of Daniel Sullivan, a very wily old fox. And I think I learned a lot from Danny. And his philosophy was that is that you may well con someone initially and win the day, but as a long-term relationship, you'll be a loser.
Excuse me, John?
Oh, Brenda, come in.
I know you've got a meeting starting in a minute, but I just wanted to catch you. Something's been troubling me since we last met.
What about the way you handle the local government account?
Yes. Well, I heard that you weren't very pleased and Mike got it in the neck.
Well, I was upset that we let that client, any client, down.
But I don't want you to be too hard on Mike. It was me who didn't do their job properly.
Now, Brenda, I think you could be a really effective account director.
You do?
Sure, yeah. But you're not going to do it on your own. So you need support. I think it's my responsibility as well as Mike's.
So you're not going to fire him?
Oh, hell no.
Or me?
Definitely not.
Thanks, John. You're really sweet.
Oh, not disturbing you, are we, John?
Brenda's just leaving now.
Bye, John.
So you think we need a PR person?
Well, it wouldn't have done any harm during this crisis with HTP.
What's this?
Oh, we were just talking about the whole area of communicating clearly.
Right, yeah. This week's topic.
Jenny thinks we need a PR person.
A spin doctor.
Well, I agree we need somebody, but is it really a PR person? See, I think if this HTP crisis showed us anything, it's that there's a real weakness in marketing.
Marketing?
Yeah. I should have paid more attention to that AS400 project.
But what's that got to do with marketing?
Everything. You see, HTP could see we had a real market beater on our hands. We didn't have the slightest idea. You see, marketing is about more than just setting up an exhibition or taking a client to a golf tournament. It's a real strategic task. Now, for PR, we could always use McLaughlin at Softex, but I believe there's a real gap in marketing.
But as sales director, I mean, all launches and support materials come from me.
But you don't have the expertise in marketing. Remember, it came out in your appraisal?
The only thing I need to know about marketing is the number of a good agency. They look after everything.
Well, I prefer to have the tasks done separately. Marketing, sales are two very different disciplines. They need different skills, different backgrounds.
Are you saying I can't do the job?
I'm saying I think you're better suited to sales. As the company grows, we need to bring in proper marketing skills. It's part of growing up.
Like appointing a new MD, you mean?
If you don't trust me to do the marketing, how will you trust me to be the MD? Or any one of us, for that matter.
Look, trust is earned, Mike. That's why we're doing this 20 Steps program. Now, you show me that you're learning and growing as managers, I'll trust you.
But what about my track record? 6 years with the company, 15 years sales experience. Doesn't that count for anything?
Experience counts for nothing unless you're growing and you're changing all the time. Otherwise, it's 1 year's experience repeated 15 times.
What exactly does AS400 do, anyway?
It's project management software. Oh, and since I started working in production, I've since found out that there is a computer already that's been around for years with the same name.
How did we make such a stupid mistake?
Because we don't have a marketing director.
Michaelides and Bednash is a company which advises people on where to place advertising campaigns and promotions in the media. Their offices are in the West End of London. Their new office was designed entirely with the idea of communication in mind. One long desk, no side offices, no politics. If possible, no hierarchy.
The business we're in is idea generation, and that necessitates for us a structure which is different to the factory structure. One where ideas are king and everything is geared towards allowing ideas to develop. I think if you look at the way that we're structured here, which allows people to communicate continually in order to develop ideas, as opposed to the traditional method, where perhaps people might sit in an office on their own, develop an idea and take it so far, and that's as far as it goes. And if people are around the coffee machine 10% of the time and they're having great ideas there, well, why not have an office that is like being around the coffee machine, so it's 100% of the day? It really is as simple as that. So the whole table, which is, if you like, the heart of the way we operate, is, or functions in a way to facilitate that.
If I have a phone call with a client that I've got concerns about or something happens and I want to respond quickly, I can put the phone down and grab Tony and say, right, Tony, I've just had a conversation I'm not happy about. What do you think? Should we get back to them now? we have a sort of meeting across the table there and then, and I can get straight back on the phone.
But even more than the physical layout of the office, what George Michaelides and his partner Graham Bednash have tried to do is create a company without hierarchy, where people can communicate freely, whatever their position or role in the company.
Well, by that time, we'll have sorted out.
I think the hierarchy has disappeared here. You know, I have full access to George and his thinking and his experience, which is the way it should be. And there certainly isn't a sense that he's a managing partner and I'm a mere strategist.
In an ideas company, you should be judged on the ideas you have and how good they are. And the idea that you move up or down the ladder is really a ridiculous thought, because everyone has on and off days.
Communication is one thing, but what about concentration and privacy?
You don't need 2 meeting rooms, and people go into one of the meeting rooms and make their private calls. We're also all equipped with portable phones, and you could go for a wander on our fire escape if you want to make a private call, or go for a walk out, if you like, or a coffee shop. It's really up to you. Part of having an open plan office is empowering people to behave in the way that they think is appropriate. Concentration is another issue in an open plan office. And if you think about it, it's rather naive to have a uniform process for helping people concentrate, because we're all individual. And I'll pace up and down. That's the way I get concentration. Other people do it through other means.
Is that a 3-hour tutorial?
No, that will be 10 minutes.
Oh, that's more.
Okay?
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, sweetie.
I think the most important factor in our business, I think any business, is communication with other people that work in your business. And if you think about it, it's absolutely critical. Not just because it helps you develop a better product, which you can then sell, but also it makes it a company that people want to work in. The whole premise of the way we work, which is interaction, is not just fundamental for the product we deliver, i.e. creating ideas, but the fact that we enjoy coming into work.
Oh, I could certainly do with one of those tables around here.
Hiya, kid. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Susan. Yeah, not bad. Well, to be honest, I think I'm in a bit of a mess over this customer survey.
How do you mean?
Well, I wanted to do it because Mike's been so smug about his relationships with customers, and I wanted this survey to give the real picture.
Doesn't it?
Oh, yes. It's a real horror show. Our customer service needs a complete overhaul.
So what's the problem?
Well, nobody wants to know. Well, we've got a meeting after lunch about it, and I bet no one's even bothered to look at it. They all claim it's too long.
Jenny, let me tell you a simple rule about communication. I learned it the hard way when I was practicing in the States.
What's that?
If people don't hear what you're saying, it's your fault, not theirs.
Go on.
Stop trying to thrust the survey down their throats. Instead, give a succinct presentation, no more than 10 minutes, and do it face to face.
You think that'll help?
Take it from me. It's not what you say, but the way that you say it.
Okay. Any other hints?
Avoid the post-lunch dip, 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Most people are more receptive in the morning.
Now, that's a good point. I'll reschedule.
And above all, whatever you're going to say, keep it simple and direct.
Right. Thanks, Susan.
Yeah, Nige. You were right about Mike falling from grace.
Why?
What you heard? Well, apparently, John Wood's going to bring in a marketing director to work alongside him.
Oh, Mike's not going to like that.
Yeah. I've already lengthened his odds to 3 to 1. Are you interested?
What if Mike's on the way down? Maybe Lee's the one I should be putting my money on.
I thought you didn't rate his chances.
He's beginning to get to grips with production, and some of his new ideas seem to make sense.
Well, well, well. Time to shorten Lee's odds.
Why did she postpone this meeting till this morning?
Well, maybe she wanted to give us all night to study the report.
What, her customer survey?
Sure.
You haven't read it, have you?
Couldn't get past page 4. Listen, I didn't say that, okay?
Ah, morning. Please, come and sit down. Thanks for being prompt. Right, there's a summary report for each of you. No one sent any amendments to the agenda, so we can aim to wrap up about 10:30. We have any other business at the end in case you think of anything. Right, I propose to start with the key findings of the survey, followed by some case study evidence to illustrate our points of weakness.
Weakness?
Weaknesses, Mike. But please leave questions until item 3, when we can look at further recommendations for improvement. Oh, there's a copy of the charts in the report, so you don't need to make any notes. Everyone happy?
Ecstatic.
Okay. Item 1, key findings. In the survey, we asked 8 questions of existing clients and 5 questions of potential clients. 113 returned their questionnaires, which I'm told is a high response rate. Right, if we look at existing clients first, we can see that 62% rated our customer service as below average or poor compared to our competitors. 28% said we were average, 8% rated us as good, and 2% rated us as excellent.
Excellent. Well, that can't be so bad.
Mike, I'm sure you have much to contribute to this meeting, but I am presenting at the moment, so please allow me to finish without further interruptions. Everyone okay with that? Fine. Now, you'll see that there are 2 key areas of concern. If we aggregate the results of both these surveys...
Bob, just the man. Can I have a word?
Well, actually, I'm in a bit of a rush. Look, I'll tell you what. Email me.
Typical of you guys in software. Email isn't the only way to communicate.
Wait, it's fast, efficient. Just because we're the only department that's got the hang of it.
But Bob, some things are too personal to put on email.
They are.
Come here.
Oh! You want to make a bet?
Shh! I don't want the whole world to hear.
Are you sure you want to bet that much?
That's what I said.
Fine. I'll give you 10 to 1.
It's a deal.
So my recommendation to the management team is that we improve our handover process from the sales team who win the job to the production team who actually fulfill it. We beef up our support hotlines and replace supervisors with team leaders, recruited for their interpersonal skills. Item 3, questions.
Well, thank you, Jenny. It's not a pretty picture, but I think your presentation's woken us up to the problems.
Our customer service stinks. No wonder we keep losing repeat business.
It would have been nice to be told beforehand that I was going to be attacked in this way. I cannot believe that you think about making a presentation without giving me the chance to prepare a defence.
This isn't about blame, Mike.
It's not what it sounds like from here. How do I know that your report is an accurate reflection of the survey?
But of course...
God, I was going to do a survey of my own. But before I could do anything about it, you went behind my back.
Oh, steady on, Mike.
And then there's you, John, about to appoint a new marketing director without consulting the rest of us.
No, that's not true.
You talk about teamwork. All the time you're scheming to take power for yourself and Jenny. Every move I make, no matter what I do, I find myself blocked. Well, to tell you the truth, I've had enough of it. I'm going to go to Softex, tell them about what's going on here. We'll see what David Anderson thinks about the way I'm being treated.